If everything you are depends on what others think, then you have never truly been free. If your peace can be stolen by other people's words, then it was never yours to begin with. The world shouts, demands, distracts. It wants you to get lost in trivial things, pointless arguments, and victories that don't matter. And before you know it, you spend your days running, but going nowhere. Stoicism is not a philosophy of pretty sayings. It is a discipline of life. It does not offer comfort, but clarity. It does not promise ease, but strength. It does not ask you to conquer others, but to conquer yourself. Every day, you repeat things to yourself, words that shape your thoughts that shape your actions, and actions that shape your destiny. But here is the truth. Most people repeat the wrong words, feed the wrong ideas, and end up living the wrong life. Today, we will reverse that. Today, you will learn 9 Stoic truths to repeat every day. Truths that will sharpen your mind, harden your spirit, and return to you control over yourself. The question is, are you ready to hear, even if it hurts? Before we dive into the 9 truths, you need to understand something fundamental. The human mind is like a field. What you plant in it every day grows. But most people plant weeds and expect to harvest fruit. You feed your mind not just with what you read or hear, but with what you silently repeat to yourself when no one is watching. It is in this inner dialogue that you build or destroy your own empire. The ancient Stoics knew life is a battle, not against other men, but against illusions. They trained their minds every day, not to win arguments, but to conquer inner chaos. What you are about to hear is not cheap motivation. It is discipline, a sharp sword to cut away what doesn't matter. And if you apply each of these truths, your mind will stop being a territory occupied by anyone and become a protected, solid, impenetrable fortress. Prepare yourself, because the first truth may already challenge what you believe today. 1. You do not control the world, but you control yourself. Most people live trying to rearrange the universe as if it were a piece of furniture at home. They want the weather to change, for people to act differently, for life to follow the script they wrote in their minds. But the world does not read your script. It follows its own. Epictetus said, "Some things depend on us, others do not." Everything beyond your control is like the wind. You can shout for it to stop, but it will keep blowing. Imagine a sailor in the middle of a storm. He does not control the waves nor the direction of the wind, but he controls the sails, the rudder, and how he reacts. The difference between sinking and reaching the destination lies not in the sea, but in the captain. If you waste your energy trying to dominate the uncontrollable, you will become weak to master what you truly can: your thoughts, your attitudes, your reactions. When you shift your focus to yourself, frustration turns into strength, and anxiety gives way to clarity.
2. Pain is not the enemy. Your fear of it is. Most people spend their entire lives running from pain, not realizing that in doing so, they run straight into weakness. Pain in itself is not a curse. It's a messenger, a teacher. It tells you where the edge of your comfort lies and dares you to step beyond it. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And he was right. The pain you fear is often far greater in your mind than it will ever be in your body or soul. You replay worst-case scenarios, magnify discomfort, and in doing so, you let fear take control of the helm. Picture a blacksmith. He does not curse the fire for being hot. He knows the heat is the very thing that strengthens the metal. Without that heat, the steel remains fragile, breakable. You are the same. without trials, without hardship, without pain, your character stays untested. The Stoics did not seek pain for its own sake. They sought the power that comes from enduring it with dignity. When you stop fearing pain, it loses its ability to enslave you. You face the world differently. Every challenge becomes a forge, and you become the blade. Stop asking for a life without pain. Instead, ask for the strength to walk through it without breaking. For in the moment you accept pain as part of the path, you stop being its victim and become its master.
3. You own nothing but your mind. Everything you see, everything you touch, every possession you cling to can be taken away. The house you live in, the job you rely on, even the people you love, none of it truly belongs to you. The world can strip it all in a moment. But there is one thing no force, no ruler, no storm can steal: your mind. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoics understood that real wealth, real security, is not locked in vaults or stored in accounts. It's cultivated in the fortress of your own thoughts. Think of a kingdom. The walls may be high, the gates may be strong, but if the guards inside are corrupt, the city falls from within. Your mind is your kingdom. Guard it with vigilance, feed it with wisdom, protect it from the invaders of fear, envy, and resentment. A man who loses his fortune but keeps his principles is still rich. A man who loses his position but keeps his dignity is still powerful. And a man who loses the world but keeps his mind has lost nothing at all. Detach from the illusion of ownership. Recognize that all external things are borrowed, temporary. The only true possession you carry from the first breath to the last is the quality of your mind. 4. Discipline is freedom. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But the Stoics knew this is the fastest road to slavery. Slavery to impulses, to desires, to the chaos of the moment. True freedom is not the absence of rules, it's the mastery of the self. Epictetus lived as a slave in the physical sense, yet his mind was freer than that of many emperors. Why? Because he ruled over himself. He was not chained by anger, not commanded by greed, not driven by lust. He chose his responses deliberately, and in doing so, no man could truly control him. Picture a river without banks, water spilling in every direction, flooding everything in its path. That's a life without discipline. But when the river has strong banks, the water flows with power and purpose, carving valleys, shaping landscapes. Discipline is the structure that channels your energy into something meaningful. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of your emotions, the whims of others, and the distractions of the world. With discipline, you become unshakable. You train your mind to act with reason rather than react with impulse. You choose your battles, your words, your steps. The Stoics saw discipline as the daily sharpening of the blade. It's not glamorous, it's not always pleasant, but over time, it cuts through everything that holds you back. And in that sharpening process, you discover the quiet, unbreakable freedom that only self-mastery can give.
5. Desire is the source of suffering. Restraint is the path to peace. At the heart of human turmoil lies unbridled desire. The craving for more wealth, more approval, more comfort, chains the mind to a relentless cycle of dissatisfaction. Every new acquisition, every fleeting pleasure soon fades, leaving behind a void that demands to be filled again. Seneca warned that it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. This endless hunger breeds anxiety and restlessness, distracting from the present moment and corrupting true contentment. Imagine a man lost in a desert, searching for an oasis that keeps moving farther away the closer he gets. His desire blinds him, making him a slave to illusions, never satisfied, no matter what he attains. The Stoics taught that peace comes from learning to want what you already have and from restraining impulses that pull you toward what is fleeting and external. Restraint is not deprivation. It is the deliberate choice to align desire with reason. By mastering desire, you reclaim your power. You no longer allow your mind to be tossed by every whim or craving. Instead, you cultivate a calm steadiness, a deep-rooted peace that external chaos cannot disturb.
6. Focus on the present moment. The past and future are illusions. Human suffering often springs from two dangerous traps: dwelling on the past or anxiously anticipating the future. The mind clings to memories, both regretful and nostalgic, or spins endless stories about what might come. Yet neither the past nor the future truly exists. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Confine yourself to the present." The present moment is the only reality you truly possess. The past is gone, unchangeable. The future is uncertain, unknowable. To waste your energy outside this moment is to live in shadow and illusion. Imagine a soldier on the battlefield, distracted by yesterday's defeat or tomorrow's unknown. His focus scatters, his effectiveness crumbles. But when his mind anchors in the now, every move is precise, every decision sharp, every breath purposeful. The Stoics taught that mastery of the present moment is the foundation of wisdom and peace. It is in this present that you exercise your will, shape your character, and build your destiny. To live fully is to live now, with clarity and intent. Resist the temptation to escape into memories or fantasies. Return always to the now, because this is where your power lies.
7. Adversity is the true test of character. Life is not a calm sea. It is a stormy ocean where only the strongest survive. The Stoics did not believe in avoiding hardship. They believed in meeting it head-on, for adversity reveals the substance of a man's soul. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Without challenge, virtues remain dormant. Courage, patience, resilience, these qualities grow only when tested by fire." Imagine a sword forged in relentless heat and hammered repeatedly. Only through that process does it gain sharpness and strength. So too with the human spirit. Every trial is a strike shaping your inner steel. Those who flee from pain and difficulty become fragile, easily broken by the first gust of wind. But those who embrace adversity develop an unbreakable core. They learn not to be victims of circumstance, but masters of their response. Adversity strips away superficiality and exposes your true self. It is the mirror reflecting your character, the forge forging your destiny.
8. Control your emotions or they will control you. Emotions are powerful currents beneath the surface of the mind. Left unchecked, they can sweep you into destructive patterns: anger, envy, fear, despair, turning reason into chaos. The Stoics taught that mastery over emotions is essential for a life of wisdom and tranquility. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The event itself is neutral. Meaning and power arise from your interpretation and response." To be ruled by emotion is to surrender your sovereignty. Imagine a ship caught in a sudden storm. The captain who succumbs to panic loses control. The one who steadies himself, calmly adjusting the sails and rudder, guides the vessel safely through. Your mind is that ship. Your emotions are the storm. The path is not to suppress feelings, but to observe them without becoming enslaved. Recognize anger or fear, then choose reason over reaction. This discipline creates space, a sanctuary where you can respond with clarity, not impulse. Those who control their emotions build an inner fortress no external turmoil can breach.
9. Accept what you cannot change. Act with courage where you can. Life presents challenges, both mutable and immutable. The Stoics made a clear distinction. Some things are within your power to change, others are not. Wisdom lies in discerning the difference and directing your energy accordingly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Resistance to the inevitable breeds suffering. Acceptance breeds peace." Imagine a great oak facing the storm. It cannot command the wind, but it can root itself deeply, bending without breaking. Acceptance does not mean surrender to passivity. It means choosing your battles with courage and clarity. Act boldly where your actions matter, on your thoughts, your choices, your effort. Let go of the rest without bitterness. This balance frees you from needless struggle and anchors you in purposeful action. In this dance between acceptance and action, you find the true art of living.
We have laid bare 9 Stoic truths, foundations not built for comfort, but for strength. You now stand at a crossroads, holding tools forged in wisdom and tempered by reflection. You know that control lies within, that pain can be a teacher rather than a tormentor, and that desire is a trap unless mastered. You understand the power of discipline, the necessity of living fully in the present, and the courage demanded by adversity. You see how emotions, if left unchecked, become chains, and how acceptance frees the soul to act with clarity. Now you know. What you choose to do with this knowledge is your own responsibility. Words can only guide so far. Beyond them lies silence, quiet reflection, and action, intentional practice. You do not need more theories or speeches. You need the courage to confront your own mind, the discipline to reshape your daily thoughts, and the resilience to walk this path with steady steps. Stoicism is not a promise of ease, but a challenge to live fully, to be the master of yourself amidst a chaotic world. The journey begins now, with one thought repeated, one action taken, one moment fully lived. The rest is yours.
If this message resonated with you, don't let it fade away. Share these truths with someone who needs strength today. Leave a comment if you commit to mastering your mind and facing life with courage. Subscribe and activate the notification bell to receive more powerful reflections that will sharpen your spirit and deepen your wisdom. Remember, growth is not a one-time event. It is a daily battle, a practice of repetition and resolve. Your journey to freedom begins with the small choices you make right now. Stand firm. Speak your truth. Live the Stoic way. Your future self will thank you.